I'll tell you, if it ain't one thing, it's another motherfucking another. Word to my daddy and my granny and my mother. Whew, man. May 16th, I'll tell you, I'll be living in the Matrix. Not literally American Matrix, but I'll be dodging bullets every motherfucking day. It'll be like just serious close calls. Man, I did not want to do a video today. I'm not feeling it at all, but I'm trying to get monetized. In my last video, I dropped it on Sunday, which actually, that video did good. I got more watch time hours on that video than all my motherfucking videos. Y'all niggas like listening to drama. I didn't even have to have a female in that video. Yeah, I got almost 100 watch time hours on that. Good looking. And welcome to the team, my new subs. So I got drama. So I'm gonna share y'all my motherfucking drama. And in fact, normally I put my website, demontmoret.com, for y'all to go to. But not this time. This time I'm putting Cash App up in there. And I will take a $1 donation. Let me tell you what $1 donation gets me. It pays for my motherfucking Uber ride. That's how much I spend when I go to the gym on an Uber Moto. So definitely, donate to the Cash App. And in fact, I'm gonna put some other shit down there and my motherfucking Venmo and some Zelle in the description. So buy a pimp a beer. 6-pack of Coronas over here costs $5, you know. So first of all, my little robbery, and I disputed it with my bank. Bank of America, I told them. So the bill was $285. I'll pay $73, make it go away. So my dispute is to bring me back $208. Now, $208 don't seem like a lot of money in motherfucking America. But here, that $208 it's like the buying power of 800 bucks. Let me see, $208, that would get me about 205 Uber rides, okay? Actually explained that to them. And then Bank of America, I said, I really need that credit. I really do. I wasn't expecting none of this to happen. So I was hoping they didn't give me an overnight credit, but they need 10 more days. Even though I put in, please decide that shit in 48 hours. And well, nothing I can do about it. That's $208, or so you Americanos can understand, that's $800 and something I gotta wait on. All bad. Then I had Hertz. Hertz told. Because I rented that car through Hertz and Tesla when I was in America. So they sent me a bill for the tolls, which is 32 bucks. But then they put on the bill a convenience fee of $99.90. How the fuck is that convenience for me? So I tried to get a hold of them. So it's not Hertz, it's Hertz toll department. So I, reaching out to them, couldn't get a hold of them. So I disputed that with my bank. A few days later, I finally get the Hertz toll department to respond to me. And I said, hey, this is some bullshit right here. 99 motherfucking dollars. What's this? I ain't paying that shit. Dude looked at it, he said, well, we can go ahead and reverse it, but another toll came in for $11. So you have to take the money out of there. And bam, he refunded it back to my account. So, where I made a mistake, and on this one, totally my bad, I'll take responsibility for it. I seen the reversal in my account. But for some reason, I thought that claim I put in for $99. I thought it was adjusted. So I'm thinking, okay, I got my money. So now, but in actuality, I was wrong. So that $99.90 came out of my bank account this morning. And ain't nothing I can do about it because technically they already squared me off. It was my oversight. It is what it is. I just had to swallow that one. Then I got E-Dreams and Skip Lag that I am still dealing with. Now, mind you, I left America April 16th. Today is May 16th. Now, that night, that was the worst travel experience of my entire life. It was supposed to be a 10-hour flight over here, turned into a 45-hour flight. The worst experience. And where it all started was when I bought the ticket on Skip Lag, it said I had a 2-hour, 13-minute layover from Tijuana to Mexico City. But what they didn't understand was there was a time change. So Mexico City is 1 hour ahead of Tijuana. So it wasn't a 2-hour layover, it was a 1-hour layover. And then they have the cutoff time, which is an hour before the flight. So when the cutoff time happened, I was still on the first plane. Impossible for me to obviously get on the second plane, and I missed that next flight. Then they realized that it was a totally different time change. Shit happens, whatever, you know. What they should have done was put me in a hotel, give me some meal vouchers, and put me on a flight for the next day. But that didn't happen. And the dude said, I said, look, man, if I just buy me a ticket, how do you guys handle that? He said, if you spend any money on the ticket, we'll reimburse you. All right. So I spent, now mind you, on that first ticket, I spent $420 or $440. I forgot what it was. So I spent another $350 to get me to Bogota and then Medellin. But that second flight, JetSmart didn't want to let me on. They don't allow service dogs. And then they said Kobe was too big for their flight, for their plane. And they wanted me to buy a smaller carrier and shit. That shit was the worst, bro. Because I went and missed the flight, went and bought a carrier, smaller carrier. Dude said I can get on the flight with it. I said, it's with JetSmart. You sure? He said, you sure? These motherfuckers didn't want to give me a credit for the next flight. Ended up buying another ticket, just get on the next flight. And then they said that carrier is too small. And if I get anything smaller than that, it's going to be too small for Kobe. And so they can't let me on the plane anyway. And the only reason I got a refund on that JetSmart on the second ticket, because I didn't even know, but the flight was delayed an hour. And so they gave me a refund because it was delayed. But on that first ticket that I bought, they only want to refund $5. So I ended up buying 2 for 6 plane tickets to get over here. So spent $440 on the first set, another $500 or something on the second one. But they giving me a hard motherfucking time. I said, you know what? Refer me back $350 on this $440. And then I ended up having to catch a flight with Latham. It cost me $97. So out of that $350 transaction, take out $97. And then I'm good. They give me a hard time about that. I can't believe it. And nobody wants to take the blame. So I tell Skip Lag, and I go, well, I bought it off your platform, but they're trying to pass the buck to someone else. And E-Dream's trying to pass the buck to the airline. And I'm like, y'all really gonna leave me stuck with this fucking bill? And then on one of those tickets, $97 ticket on my claim with Bank of America, that $97 is coming out of my bank account next week on the 22nd. And they don't want to budge. So I told Skip Lag, I said, look, E-Dreams is in Spain. I can't do nothing about that. But y'all motherfuckers is in New York. I could type up small claims and we can go have a judge decide this shit, but don't leave me stuck. I'm like, y'all should have just, it shouldn't have went down like this. So that's the issues I'm dealing with. I couldn't even work this morning with all this extra stress on my motherfucking plate. But, you know, It's Friday. I'm gonna go to the gym. Today will be my 5th day at the gym. You know, I gotta keep my thing going. So, ChatGPT, so fucking awesome. So incredibly awesome. So I'm giving ChatGPT the scenario I'm in with this whole bar scam. ChatGPT was like, do the Google reviews, which I did. I bashed in pretty hard on that shit. But ChatGPT is suggesting, hey, go to the tourist police. They got a tourist police for situations like that. I already know that shit gonna be time consuming. And with all this shit on my brain, the best thing I can do is just keep making money. Which I didn't do this morning, but I am after the gym to fix it. But I asked my bank and I said, well, should I just go do a police report on this situation? She goes, well, if you feel, and I go, well, I got all the evidence. ChatGPT is dope. It even said, hey, I'll type up the police report for you. Just explain everything. ChatGPT dope. So that's an option. What I think I much rather just give me my money, go about my business. But for some reason, Bank of America don't give me a credit on this shit, then I'll go file on their ass. But I don't think that's gonna happen. I think they're just gonna give in. Because when I went back to that fucking bar, they don't want that shit. And then I figured out she worked there. In my opinion, I think they're gonna let it go. If they don't let it go, then I'll go file a motherfucking police report with the tourist police. It's funny, I could just show that dude my YouTube videos and be like, here's the whole fucking story of how the scam went down. So after all this little shit, my cell phone bill, I gotta break them off next week, $500. My bill is normally $150, but because I bought my earpiece, my Bose, and then I bought this JBL speaker, which I've been wanting to use to pick a track for my channel. And that was my intention of buying it. But I've been here a month, and it's funny, I haven't even used this thing once. So that's why my bill is so high. But I gotta pay that on top of it. So the only thing good happened to me this week was one of my gigs broke me off. It was my first time getting paid for them. That money hit my account. I was like, oh, thank you. Oh, and the other thing, I found double XLs in motherfucking Medellin. Bruh, I spent 6 months here. Didn't see these anywhere. And then I found them at this smoke shop right down the street from the gym. So that, between getting paid with this new company, oh, thank God, I'll get paid with them again next week, and finding my double XL wraps. That was the only motherfucking thing that went well. Before I get my ass up out of here, I'm about to order Uber. And I'm done smoking. I'll say that for later. Man, I'm happy. I got double XLs. And I came out here with about 20 of these motherfuckers. And I found a spot. Mr. Motherfucking Wonderful. Why all the trolls? Every time I catch a troll, and I go to check they subs, they never have subs. They always want to be hidden when they talking shit. But trolls bring me content. So I'm going to talk about Mr. Wonderful ass. I don't know, this dude checking me out pretty hardcore, bro. And, you know, that's your business. But you want to talk shit about why my stomach is sticking out in my videos. Actually, the fucker had the nerve to say it's a disgrace. But Mr. Wonderful, I keep it 100 on my videos. I like walking around, my stomach just out. You know what I'm saying? But don't get it twisted. I do got motherfucking abs, okay, Mr. Wonderful? So fuck off, troll. And I wouldn't block you, because like I said, trolls bring my ass motherfucking content. Alright, let me order a Uber Moto. So that's where I'm at, man. I'm kind of like a little peeved. I mean, I'm going to survive, but it's a lot of money, man. Not if I was in the States, but y'all don't be, like my buddy, he doesn't grasp it. I don't need to make $2,000 a week here. The equivalent of $2,000 a week here is making $400 to $500 per week. You motherfuckers ain't never traveled nowhere, you probably don't get that shit. All right, let me order my Uber Moto. Smart 15. Look, 4,389 pesos. It's like $1.07, $1.08. That's what I'm saying. I'll take a motherfucking dollar. Cash App donation, Venmo donation, y'all. I was telling Bank of America this morning, and I said, lady, $208 ain't a lot of money. Oh, 1 minute. I said, $208 ain't a lot of money over there. But over here, that motherfucking $208, that's, all right, Kobe. You know what I'm saying? That's over 200 Uber rides. All right, I think I got everything. Hold on. I feel like I left my phone. No, I didn't. I grabbed my phone. All right. Yeah, so I'm gonna work out. Oh man, my friend Sophia hit me up. She's like, when we gonna hang out again? So I can't even fuck with you right now. I wanna hang out, don't get me wrong. But I need to put out some fires and shit. You know, and also I was excited. I said, you know, all the girls I date, I've always had my limits, right? Women over 35, I ain't doing it. But I'm gonna be like Leonardo DiCaprio and start doing my cutoff at 25. Cause I thought about it. I don't want a woman that's learned all the tricks, like how to poison a nigga, how to get a motherfucker in a bar and jack his ass with a smile on your face. See, I need to catch me one that ain't learned all them trick shit. So I'm thinking about being like Leonardo DiCaprio and do my cutoff at 25 instead of 35. I think I'm gonna be a much safer man that way. Oh, my Uber already here. Yeah, that might be him right there. Yeah, let me check. Yeah, that's gotta be him. Hola, señor.
¿Cómo está, señor? ¿Cuál es el PIN?
Sí.
751.
Gracias. All right, I'll see y'all later. Hasta luego. There's just one more thing before I go into this gym and work out. I say I had that $208 and buy me about 207 Uber rides. Let me put it into another perspective. That $208 can get me a little sugar baby all night. It can get me a zip of some bomb. It can get me a fifth of liquor, 12-pack of beer. And I will still have money left over to go buy a nice dinner for my sugar baby and I. So yeah. Alright, happy Friday to y'all. Donate to the Cash App. Hasta luego.